class, and happy Tuesday! Today I have a really fun experiment for you. We are going to see if we can get a plain old glass cup to drink water by itself. So for this experiment you need a couple of materials. First you will need a plate with a dip in it, okay? Next you will need an empty bowl. You will need some burning hot water, so you will definitely need assistance from an adult. So I have my burning hot water in this thermos because this makes it stay warm while we talk. Next, you will need a glass of ice cold water and a glass of plain old water, okay? So this is like room temperature. So I'm going to take this room temperature water and I'm going to place it into the plate, okay? So I'm going to fill the plate just enough that the water is sitting in the plate, okay? So a good amount of water should be in there. Then you can empty it into the plain bowl that you have that's sitting on the side, okay? That's its only purpose. All right, now we have this nice empty glass cup. For this experiment, I want you to be able to see this. So I went ahead and grabbed some assortment of food coloring because I want to color this water so you can see it. So I'm going to use red for this experiment. So I'm just going to drop a couple of drops of red into this plate, okay? And then I'm going to swish it around just a little bit, enough that it colors the water. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly mixed. You just want it to color the water, okay? So this looks like a really cool tie-dye, but it's just to color the water, okay? All right, next, you can have that bowl or plate sit right in front of you because we are going to use it in about a minute. So you're going to want that hot water, okay? So I'm going to place that in front of me. You're going to want that empty glass that doesn't have anything in it and the glass of ice water, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to open this thermos and I'm going to pour the hot water into this glass cup, okay? This experiment is going to move quickly, so I will talk us through as we do it. Now, remember, we have that bowl over here. Its only purpose is to collect excess water. So we're going to need that as well. I'm going to open up my thermos and I'm going to pour this hot water into the glass cup, okay? I'm going to let it sit in here, swish it around. We want the glass to get burning hot, okay? So I'm just going to let it sit here for a little bit and swish it around. Now, once I feel like this is burning hot, I am going to dump it into my empty bowl, my little bowl here that's for excess water. And then I'm going to take this glass and turn it upside down and put it into the plate of the red water, okay? So I'm going to swish this around. It's starting to get really warm. And as you can tell, I have condensation building up around the top. That's how you know it's a good temperature, okay? So now I think it's pretty hot. I'm going to dump the water out into that bowl and I'm going to take this and place it directly inside the plate, okay? So what's going to happen is a mystery. So right now I'm going to bring you close so you can see that there is red water on the outside. You're seeing some bubbles popping. Something is going on here. And we're going to find out shortly what's actually happening. So I'm going to take this glass. As you can see, there is blue at the bottom of the glass jar, but then I pour ice water on top, and you can no longer see the blue inside the glass jar, which means that the water is starting to go inside the glass. So let's take a close look right here. This, right here, this little ridge that's going around, I can see that the water is even above that. And I wonder if it's going to continue to raise. Well, let's find out. So, what's happening here? So as you can see, the water has definitely risen. Remember, when we started, the water was barely over this top ridge right here. And now, as you can see, it's definitely risen a lot higher. So this bottle is drinking water. It's sucking the water from the outside and sucking it into the glass jar. So let's talk about this for a minute. What we did is we had water sitting inside this plate, okay? But we did something special to this glass before we turned it upside down. We added hot water to it, right? And we swished it around. Well, what that does is it changes the pressure inside the bottle, okay? As we all know, which we've learned in past experiments, cold water, just like our human bodies, we get frozen, right? And so when you're in really cold water, you want to move really slow because your body is freezing. But hot water has molecules that move really, really fast, right? So that changes and raises the pressure in the bottle, okay? So then we dumped that water out, so we have a really hot glass, and we turned it upside down into this water that was room temperature, okay? So the hot water, the hot bottle, when you place it inside here, is really hot. The temperature is very different from the water that is outside here, okay? Then we poured ice on top of this glass, right? So then when you pour ice on here, you are changing the pressure, right? Not only that, but you're changing the temperature, okay? So the bottle was boiling hot, and that was allowing, the pressure was much higher. So it was pulling the water in, right? But at a slow rate. But then when we added the ice on top, the bottle wants to make up for the difference because it likes to be hot. It's hot, it wants to stay hot. So it starts sucking in water really fast to make up for that temperature change and that pressure change. And that is why now when we look at this bottle, the water has risen inside. That is amazing. This is really cool. It's amazing to be able to see that pressure difference, right? And that is what causes this to happen. Now, if I were to let this sit for an hour, I can bet that this water would be much higher inside the glass. And if I had made this water boiling on the stove instead of just using hot water from my sink, this water would have risen even faster. It's amazing, and I hope you enjoyed this experiment, and I will see all of you on Wednesday. Bye!